Welcome to another Your Tech Report video. Today we are unboxing and going hands-on with, this Apple HomePod. Let's talk a little bit about how we're going to go about unboxing and reviewing the HomePod. We'll switch to the downstairs camera here so you can take a look while I actually take the wrapping off the speaker. If you listen to our radio show on Sirius XM, then you may have heard us talk about how we're going to review the HomePod. A lot of people are reviewing this as a smart speaker. They're comparing it to the Amazon Echo. They're comparing it to the Google Home. However, if you look at Apple's marketing and you look at the way they are positioning this device, this is first and foremost a speaker. It's a way to consume your music. It's a way to consume your media. And that is first and foremost. Quite honestly, if you go to the website, you have to scroll all the way down to find out that Siri even works with the speaker itself. So we're not going to be positioning this and comparing smart skills to smart skill because we know it doesn't stack up. We're going to be putting this to the test with the likes of the Sonos Play 1, with the likes of the Google Home Max speaker, with the likes of those high-end speakers that Apple is trying to replace in our homes. That's going to happen in a longer-term review. Today, we're going to unbox and see what's inside this box because it took a long time for this to get in my hands. This is not yet available in Canada. It's only available in the US and the UK and Australia, I believe. The first thing you notice right off the bat is the weight of this box. This is a heavy box. This is 8 pounds, like 8.5 pounds or 8.8 pounds. When I saw the delivery notice, I got the space gray version. A lot of people are going for the white, but I figured the space gray is kind of cool because it matches the ambiance of my home and matches my office, which is probably where I'm going to be keeping this device. If you take a look right off the bat, let's take a look at the speaker. Take a look at that. It's a material mesh design all around. The Apple logo on the bottom there. Apple logo on the bottom here. The one thing you notice is the actual speaker cable is physically attached to this device. Take a look here. It's physically attached to the device, so you can't actually unplug it. So we're going to unravel the packaging, and we're going to take a look at how simple the design is. It's really just a cylinder that looks very much like the Mac Pro that I have sitting on my desk over there, with a touch interface on the top that has an LED screen behind it here. It has an LED screen behind it over here that we're going to see that in action when we start this up. I mean, but all in all, this is really just such a simple device. The weight comes from all the speakers and the magnets that go along with the speakers, etc., etc. Apple HomePod, check it out. You can see that LCD lighting up right away up there. Now, one of the things that's coming out, wow, that's a pretty rich bass. The screen on the top, it's hard to tell what's screen and what's not screen on top here, because if you look at it pulsating like this, you can see that it blends in so seamlessly that you can't tell if it's like an OLED display that has incredibly rich blacks that are just masked beautifully in the kind of gloss design here, or if it's just, is it a small area, is it a big area, you can't really tell. But let's talk about this speaker for a second. Number one, this has a full computer on board. This has Apple's A8 processor on board in the top portion of this device. It's got a high-end woofer at the top. It's got 6 microphones throughout the device that are supposed to help pick up your voice no matter where you are, but not only no matter where you are, but how loud the music might be playing. That's a very big factor when you use any kind of device like this that's going to use voice control. If you're blaring some kind of music and you want to try and talk to the speaker to give it some kind of command, you want it to be able to hear you. So the microphone array and its ability to distinguish voice over the music that it's playing is very, very important. 7 tweeter array in the bottom, so you've got 7 tweeters that are pointing in different directions, and the goal of this whole speaker design is to allow you to not only fill a room, but also use the mechanics of the room, kind of like what Sonos does, where it tunes itself to the room, and it allows you to hear the same quality sound no matter where you are in a room. Obviously, there's going to be decay when you get further away from a speaker. That's normal, but while you're in range of the speaker, they want you to experience a high-fidelity sound. So not only are the 7 tweeters designed in a specific way, but so is the woofer. It's designed to give you really, really deep bass that resonates throughout the entire room. They actually suggest that you use the speaker elevated and not sitting on the flat surface, so you get full bass response from the bottom. Now, in a phone or an iPad, an A8 chip obviously controls the processing of the device. The only processing really going on here is obviously the equalization and the way the sound works, but how everything responds and plays to one another. Those microphones are constantly measuring the sound of the room around it to constantly deliver a great, rich sound. And that's all made possible thanks to that A8 chip that is powering the speaker. Now, the design of this with the material surrounding is not only for aesthetic purposes, but this is also for acoustic purposes. If you look at any acoustic environment, you look at my studio here, you'll see that I have acoustic panels all over the place. This helps to dissipate the sound properly and to make sure it's evenly distributed. And when it's encompassed like this, it's helping to help shape and design that sound that you're going to hear. Let's go ahead and let's actually try to set up this device, because my phone is automatically recognized, as you can see here. So here's the HomePod. We'll set that up. Where am I setting it up? Well, it's in my office, so we'll hit Office. Where is it located? In my studio. And that's using HomeKit, so it knows exactly where I am. Enable personal requests. Not now. That's other people. Personal requests is a feature that allows other people who are in the area to actually request songs, and it'll play. That's great for our party if you want to turn that on. You can turn that on in settings later, but we're going to do that at another time. We're going to agree to the terms and conditions. We're going to transfer settings such as iCloud settings and Wi-Fi settings, and all our music settings. Apple Music will automatically be set up. Apple Music will automatically be set up on this device, all thanks to the intuitive setup, which happens because there's a W1 chip on board this actual speaker, and there's a W1 chip, of course, on board the phone, so it allows us to set this up seamlessly.
Hi, I'm Siri. Welcome to HomePod. You can't tell, but I'm waving. To get my attention, say, "Hey Siri."
Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
Hey Siri, play Metallica.
Okay, here's some Metallica, picked just for you.
So while music is playing, you can see there's a plus and minus button that appear on the top there. I'm not sure if that's part of a screen or if that's part of just what's, you know, almost hardware style buttons that are just hidden underneath. Allows you to raise the volume. Allows us to lower the volume over there. Hey Siri, stop. So we'll mask that. Next time I say "Hey Siri," I'll probably muffle my voice a bit so it doesn't trigger your devices at home. Of course, this is a speaker, and we are going to review this as a speaker. We're going to compare it to the likes of the Sonos Play 1, which in terms of shape and size, if you look at these side by side, they're very similar in terms of design, shape, size, weight, even, quite honestly. The number of speakers and microphones obviously differ because they are different devices, and this Play 1 is a slightly older device compared to the HomePod. So we're going to put them to the test and really check the audio fidelity and really check different rooms and experiences to see how this speaker reacts and responds to it. Of course, we are going to try some of those smart features, especially the HomeKit integration. I do have HomeKit at home, so a lot of my devices are going to naturally just work with this because everything is set up with Apple HomeKit in the first place. But if you don't have Apple HomeKit, then you're going to have more difficulty in controlling those devices because they're not compatible with the platform yet. Now, there are other features of the Apple HomePod that we want to bring up and we want to talk about, such as AirPlay. You can now, with your actual iPhone or your iPod or whatnot, you can AirPlay to your speaker, and you can use that as a speaker for anything you want. You can even use this for phone calls if you wanted to. All you have to do is set the audio and choose the HomePod.
Flalo Communications.
And right there, it's a Bluetooth speaker. So all I had to do was set the audio source to the speaker because I'm in range of it, and I can use that as a speakerphone, which is great for conferences and meetings. But the question is, how does it work as a speakerphone? Something else we're going to have to try out and see how this works. Maybe this is a great replacement in a boardroom, for example, in a small business. It could be something that's worth looking at. Of course, because Siri is on board, you can do things like say pause, stop, go forward, pick another song, play this artist, and it's tied to your Apple Music catalog if you have that enabled. So this is the brand new HomePod from Apple. It retails for $349, available in this space gray or a white color if you want to choose that one as well. Readily available in Apple stores anywhere in the US, quite honestly, US, UK, and Australia. And we're going to put this to the test, and I want to know in the comments what you want us to test here, because there's a lot of different things and a lot of different angles we can approach this. Definitely, we want to approach this as a speaker first, because that is what Apple intended us to use this for. So if you can please let us know in the comments what you want us to do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can get more videos like this, and you can see the follow-up, which we will do in a couple days now after we put this to the test. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified instantaneously when we have a new video to show you. So thank you for watching, and thank you for making all this possible by subscribing to the channel and telling all your friends. This is the Apple HomePod. We'll be back with an update in a couple songs from now.